Welcome to the U.S. Veterans Magazine. I'm here with Brad Kelly, the regional president of Apex Service Partners, and their company is being named a top veteran-friendly employer in the U.S. Veterans Magazine. We're excited to have you here today.
Thanks, Mona Lisa. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, our pleasure too. And we look forward to knowing a little bit more about you and your company and letting our readers know about what you and how you achieved the top veteran-friendly employer list. So I'm going to start with you, a personal note, just, as the regional president, I wanted to ask you, what does it mean to you personally to be part of a company that is recognized as a top veteran-friendly employer?
Well, I'd say it's a tremendous honor. Our leadership team across the country takes a lot of pride in employing veterans and making this a great place to work for veterans. So I served about 6 years in the Army as an infantryman, about half that time at Fort Carson in 4th Infantry Division, then half the time in 1st Ranger Battalion, and staying connected to that community, helping guys when they get out find meaningful careers, immensely important to all of us, all across Apex.
Absolutely, and thank you for your service. Can you share why hiring veterans is such an important part of Apex Service Partners' workforce strategy?
Yeah, I think it's, it's kind of twofold, right? We think of it as a, kind of a double bottom line mission set for us that it's very important to us to continue to give back, find great careers for veterans, and it's also great for the business to hire veterans. So whether that's on our leadership teams, whether that's at the technician level, we've found that the veteran skill sets, the veteran mindsets, everything they bring to the table directly translates to success in the home services industry, right? Whether it's the technical skills they've learned on the job, whether it's the servant mentality, whether it's the ability to deal with adversity, all of those things immensely applicable into being successful in the home services industries. And we believe these are great careers for veterans. So we find a lot of pride and fulfillment in giving veterans great career opportunities and great growth in their careers after they get out of the military.
Absolutely. I think a lot of veterans don't realize the qualities that they bring. A lot of them feel like, how am I going to get that job? How am I going to translate my resume? I've been doing, this other job for so long, like what industries? And that's why it's so important that they understand that there are certain industries and companies like Apex that not only appreciate their background, but understand that the qualities and the skill sets they bring are an asset to the company. And I wanted to ask you, what qualities or skills do veterans bring, in your opinion, that make them such a strong fit for a skilled trade and home services industry?
Yep, absolutely. Obviously, there's a lot of MOSs that have the technical skills to translate into the home services, whether it's in plumbing or electrical or in air conditioning. But the main factor is one, a service mindset, someone that is willing to work hard to go serve others, right? And that's the foundation of our company. And how do we go out and build great companies that serve others, that serve our communities, and having that mission, having people that are aligned to achieving a mission, immensely important. People that want to be part of a great team, right? That's what people in the military get in spades. Is you're part of a team. Everyone has a job, an individual role, but you don't succeed unless the team succeeds. I think there's intangibles around resiliency, right?
Absolutely.
These are tough jobs. By all means, it is not an easy road being a air conditioning technician running around in attics in Florida in the summer. It is not an easy lifestyle, but we find it incredibly rewarding. We think it's a rewarding career for technicians, but you have to be tough. And people from the military, I would like to believe are tough.
Absolutely.
We need it.
They sure are. Yep. How does Apex help veterans transition into the civilian careers within the organization?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like I mentioned, we have veterans at every part of the organization, all different trades, all different from technicians. We have managers. I think it's 65% of all of our senior leaders across Apex are veterans. So it kind of depends on where you come into the organization, but at every level we have onboarding programs, right? At the technician level, it involves what, again, depends on how experienced you are coming in, but apprenticeships, ride-alongs, onboarding programs, trainings, all the way up middle management training programs, developmental programs that we have, a general manager and training programs for guys that come in as general managers. And then a big part of our mentality is just continuing to invest in training.
So not only is this a good industry for them to go to, it's being run by a veteran, but you have outstanding programs and training for the veterans, and you already are valuing their skills. I bet that you must have some great stories, and I'd love to know if there are any success stories you can share with our readers, about members of Apex, particularly that stand out in your, just come to mind.
Yeah. I mean, countless, right? I think one of the general managers that works for me, his name's Dakota Cantu. And Dakota started off, he was a Marine Corps, enlisted Marine Corps infantryman. He transitioned to the trades. He was a salesman at first, and then we saw a lot of intangible qualities on the management side, and grew into a management position as a department manager. And now this year he got promoted to general manager. And so, within the span of a few years, his scope of responsibility has increased, substantially. And I think about guys like that, and we have them in spades across the organization, whether they stay as a technician or they grow into management.
That's excellent. The fact that you recognize these veterans that might have these other skill sets like management or maybe training, and you're not just a technician that you're going to be stuck into for the rest of your, career.
I think for us, it's, and you said it, Mona Lisa, was, it's not just hiring veterans, it's hiring veterans and then giving them a place in the mission set and a training and ecosystem for them to thrive. Mm-hmm. And that is using the skills and intangible assets and experiences that they have from the military to propel them forward. And I think a lot about, the vast majority of our leaders in many of these and across the country are all, very, very seasoned combat veterans. And we find that, a lot of Green Berets, as a former Ranger, it kind of bothers me that we have so many Green Berets, not as many Rangers.
Right.
A little bit of competition there. But I would like to think that we have all these guys that are just molded in fire, that are molded in the global war on terror and all of the lessons and hard-earned battle scars and all those things. Sure. And it pains me when some of them leave the military and then they go do defense sales, or they go do, consulting or something where that doesn't necessarily utilize all of those skills. And so when I think about what I would like the legacy of Apex to be, is the company that took all of those lessons learned and all of those hard-earned battle scars and kept and benefited society from that on an enduring basis by weaponizing those guys in the right roles and to lead people and to deal with adversity and grow businesses and serve their communities by virtue of all the things that they learned in the global war on terror, and continue that mission on. Does that make sense?
It makes sense 100%. It's like, you've gone through all this, you've learned all this. Take it and you can apply it to exactly the same mission, but in another way, instead of going out and wasting all this experience, all this knowledge that you can bring there. And again, it's the success of the company. And even the fact that you partner with others to really get the word out there. And maybe you need SkillBridge or, Hiring Our Heroes, which I respect very much because of what they do for the veterans as well, is just another thing that makes you a company that is veteran friendly and actually gets the word out as well, like we are. And I really would respect, other companies to recognize, but also all our veterans to see the value that you bring and to apply to these kind of jobs that are seeking them, but it's exactly who they are, just a different mission.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. There's one, I remember thinking, one of the general managers that worked for me in the southeast of my old role. His name was Chris Worst. So Chris Worst was a CW5 Green Beret, right? So he was the chief warrant officer for all of 7th Special Forces Group. And he got out, right? So someone who's just an absolute incredible leader, an incredible man, incredible warrior. And he got out and he, was in defense sales, kind of working with some different defense contractors, selling. Well, those are great jobs, right? Those are great opportunities. But he wasn't leading people. And that is an incredible leader. So we put him in as a general manager. We hired him on as a general manager out in the Panhandle, Florida, and absolutely took off that business. Absolute rocket ship, changing lives, pulled in lots of other veterans. So creating this veteran ecosystem. He's gotten promoted multiple times. Now he's the chief of staff for our entire Southeast region. Because he's putting in a situation where the skills that he learned over decades of battle are now getting put into place, and he's been able to thrive. And, I guess we have countless stories like that, stories at the technician level, guys that just, they do well serving others in the home too, at the technician level. They have that mentality and, how do I take care of people, take care of others? And that's the foundation of how you grow a trades business, right? You have to have lifelong customers that want to trust you with their most important asset, their home, right? Outside of their health and their family.
Right.
And we need people that are aligned to that are going to take care of our customers. And we believe strongly in the values and the skill sets that veterans bring.
Outstanding. I can obviously see that. That's just something that you recognize in the veterans. And it's obvious that gentleman is probably feeling extremely appreciated. He's utilizing his skills, and most of all, he is enjoying his job, or he would not be succeeding like he is. He too probably loves what he does, or he wouldn't be a success that he is. My final question to you is kind of a different kind of question, but I love asking this question. And that it says a lot about you. You're going to probably think quick on your feet, Brad, but I just want to know, do you live by any motto? Is there anything that you always say in all your meetings? Mine is moving mountains. Come on, let's go move those mountains, and I can. My team and I can move a mountain. What is it that you say every day, or that is on your door, or a signature below your email, anything?
Yeah, but I always say to the moon.
To the moon.
And that's been the trajectory of Apex.
Yes, let's go to the moon.
Kind of aspirational. Hey, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon.
I love it. I love it.
And it was funny because when I moved in my teams in the Southeast that I supported, the new leader came in. And he's a good friend of mine, and he said, "Hey, Brad's gone. We're no longer to the moon. We're going to Mars. We're going past Brad. Everywhere Brad went, we're going past it. We're going to Mars. So they always go to the moon. Hey,
I love it.
That's it.
I love it. Thank you so much for your
Mona
time.
Lisa, thanks so much.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do for not only the company, but for all our veterans. And I wish you the greatest success, and I will keep tabs on you. And if you ever need anything, please let us know that we are here for you to help our veterans to know who you are and what you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mona
All right.
Lisa.
Thank you. You have a great week. All right.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Thank you.